All right, we got first up, Press TV. I'm still recovering from the side effects watching him drink that Coke ad on my body. It's gonna be a roller coaster ride today, okay? We got news, we've got Kim Il Sung, we've got Juche Julia. I'm telling you, chat, it's you if you're not strapped in or sitting down, you might want to consider it, okay? That's all I'm saying. LA Beast will live to his 90s like those random whiskey chain cig smokers. Yeah, because it's not like it's all about like your chance is the thing, right? You're lucky as fuck. Yeah, you couldn't take insurance out on him now. Nobody will be able to. His donating his body to science will be pointless because he like will live on like a vampire, like NTC says. All right, news time. Juche Gang News, Volume 12, Wednesday, June 10th, 2026. I don't have my chair to spin around. I'll get the spinny chair soon, chat, and then I'll be able to do the spin like a professional news guy. U.S. strikes cut drinking water to 20,000 in Iran. From Press TV. Yo, you need cold bong water. You want cold. The managing director of Hormozgan Water and Wastewater Company says pre-dawn U.S. strikes have completely destroyed critical water infrastructure in the eastern part of the province, leaving more than 20,000 residents without access to drinking water as summer temperatures soar. I love how Twitter's For You feed is just regurgitation of the bullshit talking points from each day's billionaire-funded right-wing grifter group chats. Yeah, I mean, the For You is incredibly cooked depending on what the fuck the algorithm thinks you want to see, which is dictated by Grok. So you can imagine how that goes. I tend to stay on the people I'm following page. Abdulhamid Hamzapour told local media Wednesday that American terrorist attacks hit the water supply facilities in Sierra County, targeting the distribution network for the town of Kushtak and 10 villages in the Bimani district. Hamzapour detailed the two concrete reservoirs with capacities of 500 to 2,000 cubic meters, along with their associated mechanical equipment, were demolished in the strikes. The destruction of the facilities has led to a complete halt in water distribution in the area. The enemy has precisely targeted the infrastructure linked to the daily livelihood of the people, Hamzapour has said, describing the act as flagrant terrorism. The outage comes as the region endures peak summer temperatures, with reports that local weather hovers between 45 and 50 degrees Celsius. Officials stated the area lacks sufficient groundwater reserves to compensate for the loss of the reservoirs, creating a critical situation for the population. Hamzapour condemned the loss of the water access as a clear instance of a crime against humanity, noting that operational teams are on site, but face significant challenges due to the scale of destruction. The strikes on Sirak, as well as the cities of Jask and Keshim Island in the Strait of Hormuz, occurred in the early hours of Wednesday. They followed Washington's accusation that Iran downed a U.S. Army Apache helicopter over Persian Gulf waters. So there you go. So now they've purposely cut 20,000 residents off. Well, here's the thing. They didn't shoot it down. And if you look at Press TV and you look at Iranian sources, what you will find, which you can get to Press TV if you're reading my newspaper here by clicking on the links, of course. But what you'll find is that, Iran is saying that that was a false flag. There is and where it went down, the fact that like if a pilot did survive, etc. It's true that it doesn't make a lot of sense that it went down. Not from a strike from Iran, anyway. What is the bot saying now? Delete bot. Okay, so I mean, I guess we're still waiting for the Iranian response to this. But in response to oh no, here we go. Okay. Iran launches concerted retaliatory strikes. Iran's armed forces have launched retaliatory operations against American military targets in the region after American aggression struck several locations in the country's south. Good, I got this in order. Hormozgan province. On Wednesday, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps noted how the warmongering American regime had attacked several locations in Jask, Sirak, and Keshem in the province earlier in the day under the false pretext of an American helicopter crash. Press TV. I do understand some people's frustration, although I'm not gonna lie. In much the way I like fish for bringing people out of lurking while I'm reading, I kind of like G-String to do it too. And hopefully, if someone asks something that I don't notice in chat, G-String will at least decently say something, because the more chatters that happen, the more my number stays up, the more I go up in the algo. The more unfamiliars might see the content. Check out this video related to what I just read to you, though. That's right, I'm engagement farming.
این مشت‌های آهنی تا نابودی تک تک شما و اخراج شما از منطقه به حول و قوه الهی به سوی شما نواخته می شود.
Damn. I have been thinking about doing, like, going live on YouTube when I do the news segment, maybe. And then I wouldn't need to upload it to YouTube later, like. Instead, I would just be live during the headlines, and then I would press stop on YouTube after the headlines, and then do the theory reading after that. I was thinking maybe I'll do something like that. Yeah, that's liberals for you, Julia. Rockets in the sky. Julia, make sure you're following Julia. She got a new camera. Or looking into a new camera. One of the two. I constantly run into the My Parents Escape Communism crowd. Yeah, they're very annoying. What you have to remember with the My Parents Escape Communism crowd is, like, you're dealing with people who are sympathetic to, like, you know, compradors, sadly. Yeah, I mean, Julia, that's where I am now. But that's because I come from the trenches of left tube. You see, like Missillimum can attest. I come from the trenches of left book. So I've been there. I've done that already. It's all right. Footage captures the moment of a missile strikes and subsequent explosion at the location of the U.S. Navy's 5th Fleet base in Bayron. Does it? All right, I don't see it, but you know. I just told G String to give short answers and tested it, and it doesn't help. No, it doesn't. Because that's what the bots tend to do. Top right of video. Oh, okay, wait. You saw it? Oh yeah, right there. You're right. Yep. Let me see if I can do it this way. Yeah, no, I can't zoom in sadly on it. But yeah, it's right here in the back. Right there. Right, like between these two buildings up here. It's why I always say, like, DPRK is still the litmus test, in my opinion, at the end of the day. The ultimate one. Lawsuits or mass protests? You know, we've been talking about Delaney Hall for a bit here. Over 300 immigrant detainees inside the Immigration and Customs Enforcement concentration camp, known as Delaney Hall in Newark, New Jersey, started a labor and hunger strike on May 22nd, galvanizing broad public support and condemnation of GEO Group, the private prison company which runs the center. Strike supporters outside the hall engaged in multiple militant clashes with ICE police, who responded with pepper spray and rubber bullets. Charging ICE police with violence on May 30th, New Jersey Governor Mickey Sherrill sent New Jersey state troopers to the front lines, who were just as brutal, if not more so, than ICE. Many demonstrators were injured. And on May 31st, state police kettled and arrested 63 activists. Sherrill blamed what she called outside agitators. Newark Mayor Ras Baraka, also a Democrat, was next to respond with a curfew and a ban on traffic within a half-mile of the hall, which is located in an isolated, heavily industrialized area. Even though he'd been arrested a year earlier for protesting about conditions in Delaney Hall, Baraka deployed Newark City Police, despite having claimed the city would not spend taxpayer money to safeguard Delaney Hall. Read the full story at Workers' World Party. Linked right here. Alright, I got socialist headlines for you coming up now. First, from Cuba. Cuban tobacco is also being rolled using solar energy. The Las Tunas Tobacco Collection, Processing and Rolling Company, ABTT in Spanish, generates almost 60 kilowatts of energy through the use of photovoltaic panels at factories which supply tobacco for domestic consumption and for export. For several years, the use of renewable energy sources has been part of the entity's strategic plan. Some units were even purchased, but then the scarce sources of foreign currency income put a stop to that intention. Due to the unreliable power supply, work stoppages were frequent in the workshops, consequently impacting production, which amounted to more than 400,000 cigars of export quality and nearly 1.5 million units destined for sale in the domestic market. In terms of revenue, the losses exceeded 26 million pesos annually. What's it say here? Leaping Larry's socialist headline segment is based if truthfully exposed imperialist aggression and supports the struggles of socialist states. Then you see what the problem is there. You need to get me famous, chat. What's the matter? Come on. Boost these numbers up in here. What's going on? That's the problem. I see the problem. It doesn't know me. Ask it about a known like a more famous streamer, and then we'll see what it says. Due to the unreliable powers of faced with this complex reality, the Tabacuba business group decided to undertake a large-scale energy transition in its main process. And hey, and you know what? I'm not gonna disagree with that. You should check Larry's work by looking at the Larry newspaper and clicking on the links and reading the whole stories for yourselves. Absolutely. Good point. Good point, great bot. It likes to be called G stands for great, like a great leader, it said. Thank you, Comrade Steele. In Las Tunas, this began with Vida Navas and Miabon factories in Puerto Prada, with the goal of contributing to exports. They also installed photovoltaic systems in some of the workshops in Enrique Castle's factory, in the municipality of Las Tunas, where tobacco was also made for sale abroad. Following this initial experience, the Lazaro Pena plant in Jobabo, which also supplies domestic consumers, is launching 2 solar panel modules of 6 kilowatts each. Today, to change its energy matrix and maintain its excellent production results. Let's go. Cuban cigars. Getting that production stabilized. What we like to see. That's right. I will celebrate the Cuban commodities. We got from Lao News Agency, KPL. Lao, Vietnam deepens strategic partnership. Prime Minister Sonexe Sifandon paid an official visit.
Like Go back to Cuba, comrade.
That's right, GMO. Paid an official visit to Vietnam from June 7th till 9th. At the invitation of Vietnamese Prime Minister Lee Minh-hung, reaffirming the two countries' commitment to strengthening their special relationship and comprehensive cooperation. What's a crotch? What does that mean? Following welcome ceremony in Hanoi on June 7th, the two prime ministers held bilateral talks, during which they reviewed cooperation across political affairs, defense and security, trade and investment, education, technology, culture, and social development. Both sides highly valued the long-standing friendship, special solidarity, and strategic partnership between Laos and Vietnam, describing it as unique and enduring French relationship that continues to grow stronger through regular high-level exchanges and close cooperation at all levels. KPL. Oh, I mean, I do mine afterwards, so I don't roll mine around the filter like some people do. I roll my doob and then I stick a filter in it. You're going to Vietnam? Oh, nice. Burnt Toast, are you in the Discord by any chance? Because if you are in the Discord, PRF Discord, you can go to the passport registry area, and if you sign up for RSVG chat, look for Red Vega. Right here. Right here's the link. Look for Red Vega. Red Vega just moved. They moved to Vietnam a year or two ago now. So Red would probably be able to give you some good recommendations. When you go in there, you'll see there's a passport registry area in the Discord. And you can like sign up for mine, which is Juche Gang. All the different TankTube streamers have their own chats in there. And of course, you can find us all here on the team pages. You can find us all. And if you sign up for RSVG, Commander Red is the commander of RSVG, which is also, by the way, RSVG is a pretty base server as well, where you can find comrades to game with. Red gave me recommendations for where to go with my husband for our honeymoon. Hell yeah, there you go. Known Vega almost as long as I've known you. Yep, same. I've known Red Vega for 10 years or so. Same, it, like in many of the same Facebook groups, etc. I would like to get Red Vega on sometime to talk with everybody soon. So your kitten, the party line in the Discord, you can see the party line in there.
Juche is what's happening on this planet, y'all.
And speaking of Vietnam, how about Ninh Binh Summer carries lotus scent? Speaking of Vietnam, we got Vietnam News Agency right here. Every summer, the lotus ponds at Ninh Binh bloom simultaneously, planting a picturesque landscape and the ancient capital, Pink. Located within Trang Nguyen Scenic Landscape Complex, the Hang Myos tourist area in Ho Lu is one of the most beautiful lotus viewing spots in Ninh Binh, covering nearly 7 hectares and primarily planted with Japanese lotus varieties. The pure fragrance of the lotus blends with the beautiful natural scenery, creating unique attraction that draws many locals and tourists to visit, experience, and capture beautiful moments in the summer. I love this boardwalk. Look at that. I love this picture too. Oh, you wouldn't want to fall in. Such a cool picture though. Lotus root is a kind of potato. Like, it's a tuber. Well, thank you. Thank you, Manty. We got China's human rights path. Progress through development. This is just a snippet from the article. I read this whole article today. I duly recommend that you check this one out in full. This was a good one. During the 14th five-year plan, 2021-2025 period, China achieved remarkable economic and social progress. In 2025, China's GDP reached 140.19 trillion yuan, about 20.4 trillion US dollars, representing a year-on-year increase of 5.0%. Per capita disposable income nationwide reached 43,377 yuan, about 6,192, with a nominal increase of 5% over the previous year. So people's incomes going up. Behind these figures lies a broader story. Rising living standards and a more equitable sharing of development gains among people. So this is incredible numbers, actually. So what you're seeing is an increase both of GDP and people's the per capita disposable nationwide income going up at the same time. Incredible. Capitalism, in fact, could never. Poverty alleviation remains one of the most compelling examples of China's human rights progress. Over the past 4 decades, measured by the World Bank's International Poverty Standard, China has lifted nearly 800 million people out of poverty, accounting for close to 3/4 of global poverty reduction during that period. Progress in education, healthcare, and social security has further strengthened the foundation for people to enjoy their rights. Today, China has established the world's largest education, social security, and healthcare systems. These achievements continue to translate people's aspirations for a better life into reality. It is through these practices that the people's sense of gain, happiness, and security has become more substantial, better guaranteed, and more sustainable. The historic leap in China's human rights development has proven that the right path for advancing the cause of human rights is one that is suited to the country's national conditions, that meets the expectations of the people, and promotes common development. CGTN. There you go. Real human rights. Exactly. All right, and we've got special report on Xi's visit to the DPRK, part 2. This is a continuation from yesterday's. So what I'm going to do is the same thing we did yesterday. We're going to open all these up. You can read the full thing at your leisure, of course, but we're going to look at the photos of these. And yeah, you know the way these load because we're getting these from DPRK. So we have respected Comrade Kim Jong-un hosts a luncheon for Comrade Xi Jinping and his wife Peng Liyuan. And here they are having their lunch. Here, you'll probably want to see this on the big window, yeah? I love that fish tank. What do we got? Breads? The comrades eating. Oh, I want to see that one again. Beautiful. Okay, and then the next one we have is respected Comrade Kim Jong-un visits the Central Cadres Training School of the WPK and plants a tree with Comrade Xi Jinping, General Secretary of the CCCPC and President of the PRC. So that's amazing. Wow. That's cool as fuck. Think about that for a second, actually. So Xi Jinping went and visited the school where party members, where revolutionaries are trained. This is the Party Cadre Training School. So he specifically went to the school where they train revolutionaries. Communist parties working together as fraternal partners. Where have we seen that before? Damn you! Please show us the next picture. We want to see the next picture. See, that's the thing about the loading. Okay. Come on. We got the one picture. It doesn't want to load any of the other. Damn you, imperialist internet. Hold on. Refreshing the page might do it, but it might not. It might make things worse. Let's try. Okay. Well. Oh, we got it that time. Look. Look at this school too, chat. I noticed there's a Kim Jong-un picture there on that stone. And then look at the pictures on the school behind them. Can you see that? We got Karl Marx and Lenin on the back on that. I love this picture. Karl Marx and Lenin on that school back there. Giant pictures of them. Weird. I thought they removed all those portraits. Come on, show us more. There we go. Sounds like some kind of Marxism-Leninism, yeah. What do you think they're talking about here? What do you think they're talking about as they're walking along near the Marxism Leninism Juche cadre training school? Obviously world domination. What Trump smells like, sadly. I don't think they got time to discuss Trump's smell. I'm not gonna lie. Something tells me they do not have the time for that. This is a classroom where you study Marx and Lenin. Whoa, look what everybody's got on their computer. You see this, right, Chad? What is everybody studying here in this room? Almost all of them. What is everybody studying in this room right here as Xi Jinping and Kim Jong Un are coming to visit? Do you see? Twitch? No. No. It's Xi Jinping. If you look carefully, it's everybody's got Xi Jinping on their computer and like a big write up about him. I love this. Everybody is studying Xi Jinping as he's coming to visit the school. I love that. See if you look, everybody's got like his portrait on their computer. Some people are on like a different scene. Oh, and you got to take a ride in the revolutionary golf cart, of course. I love this school ground. And they're there, the tree planting ceremony. This is what I wonder, Masilimum. Like, I wonder if they surprised them or something. You know? And okay, and people will be like, wait a second. This tree has already been planted. Yes, but you see, DPRK and China both, they understand that tending a tree is not just about planting it, but you gotta add more fertilizer to it, you have to keep watering it. That's like a part of that's like a big thing that they talk about all the time. Trying to get to the next one. There we go. And there's a plaque to honor. That's cool. Look at this. Beautiful. I mean, the plaque there is telling you something. This is like it's not just about DPRK. Like what's amazing about this is it's not just about China and DPRK getting close together, right? That's what you have to understand about Xi Jinping coming to visit this cadres training school. This is about the WPK and the CPC getting closer together. That's why I'm saying this is completely different than like just two countries meeting. This is like you're looking at two fraternal communist parties coming together. That's why he's visiting the cadres training program, training school. And then, of course, Comrade Xi Jinping, General Secretary of the CPC, and President of the PRC, lays a flower basket at Friendship Tower. And if you're not familiar with Friendship Tower, this is the monument DPRK built to honor the Chinese martyrs who participated in the Korean War. Or as China calls it, the war to aid Korea and protect the homeland. Or as Korea calls it, the Fatherland Liberation War. And there's the monument. That's for the Chinese martyrs. They plant trees while they're selling off national parks for clear cutting. They plant trees while they're selling off national parks for clear cutting? Wait, who's that? Who's they in that scenario? Yeah, this is the one that you saw in the distance in the woods. And if you look up here in the right-hand side, see, that's the Arc de Triomphe. And then behind that, you can see the Camilla statue, actually. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was assuming is being said. We, as in the US. That's what I'm assuming. I was just clarifying. I'd just like to be on the same page. Lennon Smash! Thank you so much for the 5 gift subs, Lennon Smash. See, do you notice something? I want you to take notice of this, though. I'm just saying, when we watch LA Beast, Lennon nowhere to be seen. When we've stopped watching LA Beast, now Lennon has appeared in the chat. It's just a very curious situation we have unfolding here. Welcome in, Lennon. Make sure, everybody, you're following Lennon Smash, who may or may not be Mr. Beast. LA Beast. Lennon Smash Beast. Go follow. The most grass-touching comrade of TankTube. Because being a fan of skateboarding, he might sometimes fall on the grass with his entire body, therefore covering the grass more fully than many of us, perhaps. 27 Club, great to see you. Welcome in. We're just looking at Xi Jinping's visit to DPRK. Everybody go follow 27 Club as well. This is the monument right here. Like I say, this was the monument we're looking at to the Chinese martyrs who gave their lives to protect Korea during the Korean War. And then up in the right-hand corner there, you can see the Arc de Triomphe, which celebrates Kim Il-sung's return after the liberation from Japanese imperialism. And then if you look in the background, right in the middle, you can see the Camilla statue as well. Salty, good to see you. Welcome in. And see, this is inside. They show you the heroes, different martyrs. It's got like a museum there as well. Pretty good. There we go. Okay, and one last piece from this event. Camilla is a legendary horse that can like go extremely long distances in one stride. Wait, what is LS Beast is Lennon Smash Beast. But we're joking about it because you remind us of LA Beast, which is somebody that we just watched. The last one is Comrade Xi Jinping, General Secretary of the CCCPC, President of the PRC, leaves Pyongyang. And Kim Jong-un warmly sees him off. Yo, anonymous gifter, thank you so much for gifted one to Rotary Boy. LA Beast, is he unhinged? A little bit, yes. But he, like, I don't know what it is. Like, many chatters can attest to this. It's not that, like, he's exactly like you, but he has very, like, similar Lennon Smash energy. It's like I say, whenever we watch him, Whenever we watch him, he gives me energy of like, it's like if Lennon Smash had made different decisions in his life. And like, we're like watching like Lennon, alternate universe Lennon Smash, where you made like much poorer decisions in your life, essentially. Yeah, Ricky and LA Beast, yeah. Is it the look of mischief in his eyes? Yeah, that's a little bit of it. You'll have to watch him. You might get up what I'm talking about. You might see what I mean by having your energy. You're like a similar aura to you, by for sure. Maybe we'll have to put him on your stream tonight, bud. Tonight on your stream, we'll have to put him on so you can see him. Then we can see your reaction to him firsthand. I think that's going to be the play here. All right. I love this though. They are such good friends that Kim Jong-un even drove him to the airport, chat. Think about that. How many friends of yours will drive you to the airport? That's like a high-level friendship, right? Kim Jong-un driving him back to the airport and saying goodbye to him. This is everybody saying goodbye on the sides of the streets. And here they are at the airport again. Look at that. You get the double handshake again. A hug. A hug from the first ladies. And off they go. Oh, it's showing their whole trip. That was their beginning. This is showing their whole trip there. I hate how these photos load so goddamn slow. So these photos are in oh shit. These photos in Pyongyang.
Juche is what's happening.
You saw them
on
off
this
at
planet,
Pyongyang
y'all.
International Airport. It says, Comrade Xi Jinping's. Oh my god, Anonymous, thank you again. Another gift sub. Thank you, comrade. That means a ton. It says, Comrade Xi Jinping's recent visit to be specifically recorded in the history of development of DPRK relations of the new era. Oh, this is on Rodong Sinmun, which is their political the party's news site or whatever. But it's also on it's reported by the political news team of the Central Committee. And of course, you can get the links to all of those by just clicking on the title. And that concludes the special report on Xi Jinping's visit to DPRK Part 2. And that's another episode of Leaping Larry's newsletter, which I will, of course, link to you. And you can get a link to by typing news. The date's messed up because I accidentally wrote over yesterday's news. Sometimes that happens. I'm trying not to let that happen, so I apologize that yesterday's news got nuked.
Y'all.
In the 24-hour news cycle. I'm not a fan of the 24-hour news cycle. So yeah.